perspective as well. And by the way, we have your good friend Samir Arora joining us next.
That's right. Samir
so, you maybe want to listen to the conversation. Samir is, of course, founder and fund manager at Helios Capital. Samir, good to have you with us here. Good morning. Thanks very much. You're smiling. I think you caught some of that conversation earlier.
I was hearing, before this, I was hearing Gautam's extremely bearish conversation.
Gautam is miking off. I'm asking him to
mic
put the mic on.
Totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Why? Tell us why.
First of all, you can't say that FIIs, because they have sold since September, have gone away, because in September they put $6 billion. So therefore, you can say from October 1 they did. So what did they discover? They discovered that the US Trump is coming back, and therefore US will be a better place to invest. But you can do this for 1 year. You will keep saying this argument, because by this time between US and India, the difference may be already 25%, number one. Number two, in a global portfolio, maybe 60% or 65% is US. And 1% or less is India. And similarly, China is 1%. So somebody met in a board meeting and said that we should make our 65% into 65.02%. And we will take that 2% out of India, out of the Indian 1%, you sold 2%. The point is that trade is played out and it is over in some sense, not literally, because even today or yesterday, selling. Exactly. But picture, this trade cannot go on forever in itself. Secondly, the pension funds and the endowments and all those, if they say that today US is better, therefore today I will increase by selling India, I think we always had this view that at least some investors in this world, not us, not everybody, are long-term investors. And there are equal number of people who say, or not equal maybe, but quite a few people who say we are buying a market that has not performed well or whatever. But the main point is that there is 65% or whatever, some big number like that in US, and there is 2% in India, China, and there's 33% in the rest of the world. So why we should compare ourselves with the US only, compare ourselves with the rest of the world, whether they should be sold or not. The point is, if you look at flows, even December, it was positive number. So it is not going to be that every day for now, forever, it will be selling. And yesterday is this thing which I've been saying forever, that Trump is a very positive influence on the world. And he's definitely a positive influence on India. Because we don't need 100% tariff on cars and 80% tariff. All these things should be sacrificed in 1 minute. If we have tariff on steel, it is you are just helping two companies, helping the rest of the economy.
Samir, and Gautam is waiting, and we'll come back to that flows picture. Since you yourself brought up this India-US from the latest news flow, anything stood out to you? I mean, do you have a strong view of what has happened in the last 12 hours or so? 12, 14 hours? What you've heard?
I'm saying that's the thing is, if you look at the trade deficit to trade deficit, it is easy to narrow by saying I'll buy defense and I'll buy oil and all that. But there is a second level where, let us say that there was no trade deficit for US with India. Even then, this second part is not clear that for countries where there is no trade deficit, there will not be a reciprocal tariff thing. So then we have to see where we have visibly high tariffs, and does it matter to the country as a whole that those tariffs are reduced a little bit. And we know broadly where they are very high and where they are normal. And the very high, and we know that cars, we know you can do anything you want, but Tesla will be in India within 12 months. You broadly know that in theory, if India has to fight with US, then they have to allow BYD and others to come in. So you look sector by sector, what will happen to our financial sector? Nothing. What will happen to our broad consumer sector? Nothing.
What will happen to auto, Samir? Sorry,
sector, nothing.
Tesla will be in India with very low taxes?
No,
12 months?
It doesn't have to be zero. No, nobody's asking for zero.
No, but very low taxes, you think? Because you have a long-standing negative view on autos. So just, quickly.
No. Tesla is because even 1 year ago, when Elon Musk was coming to India and they were saying we'll allow X number of cars, and in return, over the next 2-3 years, you will invest 500 million or 750 million into some Indian assembly. I think all that has to be done, and that is for the benefit of India. It is not that there are 3 car companies we have to protect or 2 steel companies. It is good. As long as it was not affecting agriculture and other things, where it will be difficult to say that, how many people are getting hurt. But even if you suppose, in theory, I don't exactly even know the tariff on that, but suppose we have tariff on steel. You think really it is for those two companies? That steel is being bought by 1,000 other companies who are making auto and who are making refrigerators and ACs and construction. So it is a within India thing. Why should we get so hyper that some 3-4 companies in one sector and 2 companies in another sector will be hit? It's not going to become zero. It's not you will have Indian auto industry not there, but they can be brought down to make it less visible.
No, Samir, take your point. I don't think, at least as of now, we don't have evidence of some major damaging impact, even if some tariffs are raised, like you're saying, on maybe import of some cars or import of some. I take your point. I think defense is the other watch point. We have to really figure out, and we asked that question to Gautam as well, that, if we start importing a lot more defense equipment, what happens to those stocks? But I want to go back to the larger question on what's happening to the market. On the point of flows, the argument that Gautam made is that there are 3 pieces, right? 3 wheels. FPIs, they're continuing to sell, whatever is the reason. They might find India a little overvalued. They think there's better value in the home market. Whatever is the reason, they're selling. Then there is the HNI, family office, direct retail. This piece has been selling. The only piece that's buying are the mutual fund investors. Now, till what point can it hold up the market? I mean, and we're still down. Despite them buying, we're still down 13%.
Exactly.
So where do we go from here?
Nilesh was right in saying that they have different portfolios. How do we know that? If you see on Twitter, all these guys who made a lot of money in the last 5-6 years, individuals, their portfolios, whatever these guys report, we never check what they're saying. They are not down in the range of where mutual funds are down, which is say 10, 11, 8%. Mostly they'll be down 20 and 25 and 30%. And therefore that is
they're supposed to be super smart, right? Smart money. They're supposed to be very smart money.
Super smart. No, it is not super smart. They are operating with a very high risk, high return, buying very extremely liquid at very small caps. So it is obviously super smart, but that super smart can't. Then you have to see it over 5 years. You can't say last 3 months somebody was not super smart. Like Tesla stock is down 18% this month, so he's become less smart. It's not that. You have to see broadly how that market of those guys are
the point.
No, absolutely. They take high risk, high return bets. Absolutely, yeah.
I have a simpler answer.
Yeah.
I have a simpler point that we say that FI are selling, but then we talk about the fact that 40 companies are trading at more than 40% or whatever. The point is they are selling the large caps where everybody, each and every fund manager, bearish or bullish, says that the large caps are not overvalued. So therefore, this does not reconcile that way. Then why are they selling those stocks first? Because they are selling because our market is falling. They are.
So, and that is my question. I'm asking a very simple question now, Samir. Very simple question. Has this market, you think, fallen enough? Are we anywhere close to the bottom or not? Simplest question.
Yes. I think we are somewhere near the bottom and nobody knows precisely, but the 3 or 4, 5 things which were India created, which were say liquidity tightness or poor results or this basically in a sense, or interest rate being higher or whatever, or inflation, all those things have been addressed either on their own or by Reserve Bank or by the government, or spending by government not being there for 6 months, and therefore 3-6 month quarterly 3 months or even 6 months quarterly results being bad. Now please look at it from April 1, your comparison will be with that quarter in which we say that nothing happened. And then the next quarter comparison will be with the 1 year ago quarter in which again nothing happened because of monsoons and other thing. And so therefore plus minus. Please also note that in December, just the month of December, FIIs were net buyers. So what made them negative in January? Suddenly we have to give some logic. So our logic can be that A, the results were bad, and B, a little bit bad. And secondly, that, the feeling became that the rupee will be let go and therefore there might be more depreciation of the currency and all that. So that also plus minus has played out. Maybe another 1-2% may happen. And therefore you will not know exactly when it bottoms, but it can't be that this one-way trend of them selling India. Just to tell you one more thing, in the month of January, they only sold India, no other market. So the net selling in India was the total selling. So therefore it can't be they've given up EM. it means, okay, for some time they gave up India. That also beyond a point, doesn't happen.
not, yeah.
Particularly, it's sort of somewhere there, who knows exactly.
No, but I think that somewhere near the bottom, it's a good enough, because lots of people, many have lists ready of what to buy. They just want to know whether they should buy it lower, much lower, if there is going to be more selling. So you've given us a broad sense, your sense, that maybe somewhere near the bottom. Obviously,
I'm saying you cannot overextend any logic.
Obviously, yeah, exactly.
It's broadly
Absolutely.
there now. It can be for another 5%, who knows?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you can't say it's a one-way thing, because that way the correction
It's
has
not gonna-
happened. Because Gautam himself is saying so many stocks have fallen 50%. But don't buy those stocks. Why they are
Gautam has
selling a
been
large cap?
Gautam wants to come back, yeah.
Gautam is sitting in stoic silence. Gautam, quickly, 15 seconds.
Do you agree? We're close to the bottom?
When Mr. Arora talks, everybody just listens.
Yeah,
I will deal with Gautam separately offline.
Yes, exactly. I will get a earful today, by the way.
Right after this, right? Right after this. And we won't, but I know, both of you are great friends, and we'll pick up on this, maybe, call you both back.
थोड़े smile करके आया करो यार.
I can't smile as much as you, because your smile itself basically makes the market go up.
This is great. A bull and a bear argument together on the screen.
No, but can I
Absolute
just say
pleasure.
one last thing about what Samir said about the auto market? The fact of the matter is we are spending too much money on buying cars in India. With the most, I think one of the most, after Singapore, which is where Samir lives, one of the most expensive auto markets in the world. You fly 2.5 hours to Dubai, you can get the same foreign car at half the price. So, the socialist mindset of the government needs to change. And the fact is, we have 5 slabs of GST. I don't know if you guys knew that. 5 slabs of GST for cars, for passenger cars. And I sit on the board of Landmark Cars, and then as a result, I know. But the fact is, we need to lower that, and ownership should become more affordable.
Absolutely. And why just luxury cars? Maybe other stuff as well, right?
Yeah,
And, well, thank you very much, Samir and Gautam, for that very interesting discussion and sort of varying viewpoints. And as I was saying, we'll get both of you back, maybe, have another one of these, not bull versus bear, I think that's too cliched, but, opposing viewpoints.
A healthy
healthier debate.
I will make him bullish.
Healthy debate. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us.